the next thing on your
There's
list?
more? Yeah, I got more. Alright.
Oh, Lord.
Now we diving in. And it's all your fault. Are expat parents hurting their children by denying them the traditional American upbringing and experiences? Should we feel guilty?
Mommy does.
Yeah, I'm digging in right. All I need is like a poker or something. I need a stick.
I think you just did it. It's good. So last weekend, LeBron James hosted like a televised graduation commencement for all the 2020 graduates. And President Barack Obama spoke, and there were a whole bunch of other people. And I thought, because Aaron is finished with high school, he would want to watch it. So I was really excited. I took my iPad in so he didn't have to stop doing what he was doing. We could watch it together. And he just looked at me and he said, I don't want to watch this. And I was kind of stuck for a second. And I said, why not? And he said, because it just makes me sad that I don't have all these things, that I didn't have these experiences.
Yeah, because it's not a bunch of expat kids sitting. I mean, if it was the community I'm in, it would be a bunch of kids sitting at home on the computer playing Doom or something. It wouldn't be a whole class of people all running around doing stuff with their friend. I don't have that. I have one friend. Talked to him this morning.
I wonder what expat kids are doing.
Same thing I'm doing.
Well,
are you sure about
I just
maybe.
saw some
Are you
expat
sure about
kids
that?
having a graduation party at Starbucks in China. They had a big long table of expat kids with the parents, because in China you can do that now. And they were having a graduation party at Starbucks.
I guess my thing here is the idea of feeling guilty.
I do feel guilty.
The idea of feeling guilty, but what are you feeling guilty about? Are you feeling guilty about being an expat and taking your kids away from the United States? Or are you feeling guilty about the fact that you took your kids away from the United States and now they don't get to have the experience of living in the United States? Because basically, if you made the choice, this is my perspective, if you made the choice to take your kids away from the United States, which you could have left them, because people do it all over the world, if you wanted them to have that experience, then you send them back there to have that experience. I mean, there's plenty of schools that have room and board in the United States. They're expensive as hell, but they're there. So they could be at school and they could have gone through all of this stuff. But the whole idea of being an expat was to not do any of those things. So then why feel bad about it? Because you made the choices. You made the choice to not have your children have those experiences. So why are you trying to recreate them for expat kids? Maybe they need to have a different experience. Now what that is, I have no idea.
What would you like your graduation to look like?
Don't have such a thing.
See, I think expat kids are going to have different expectations of what graduation means and what does graduation mean for you? Because what are you graduating from?
I don't know.
See what I mean?
I
So,
don't think I'm graduating from anything.
see? So then why do you need all the other stuff?
If I was in a school, then yes, that graduation would mean you have a ceremony, you get a diploma, you wear a robe and a hat, and sure, there's that. For me, I was taking classes in Coursera. Like, what am I got the certificates. I can print them out right now. I mean, want to give me a hat and a robe? I don't.
No.
I mean, what would I be graduating from? My life hasn't changed. Got older. Hasn't changed.
Like I
Still
said,
doing the same thing.
this is your problem.
It is my problem. But I'm not the only expat mom with this
expectation to live like you're in the U.S.?
No,
What?
it's not an expectation of to live like you're in the U.S., but that carries around this kind of guilt. Like, my kids never got to go to prom, but we put such a big deal on prom, and
We did,
but
we
as
didn't
Americans,
for our
we did.
children.
We don't for our kids, but we did as teenagers in America.
But we did.
You know, going to the
They've
football
never
games.
known that.
I understand that, but that doesn't alleviate my guilt.
Why would you be guilty about them
Something
not
that we've
being
never known.
apprehensive about what's going to
I don't
happen
even
with
know
prom?
that it's not really guilt, because I think guilt is a useless emotion. It's just, it's sadness. Like,
Okay,
did
it's
I
like
make
worse.
did I make the right choice by keeping them from these things? What could I have done differently that would give them their own special experience?
But why do they need that?
But our experience
Aren't all of
now
these-
is already special from everybody else.
But aren't all of these things the things that you did not want your children to do?
No, I didn't want to keep them from all of that. What I wanted them to have was the opportunity to learn outside of the American education system. I wanted them to live in cultures and see firsthand that regardless of faith, color, language, orientation, that all people at their core are basically the same. I wanted them to learn that as children. No,
All people.
we all have the same hopes and dreams and fears and stresses and concerns. We all have that.
Yeah, all human beings do.
Right, that's what I'm trying to...
Fear of starvation.
Right. We all
human
have
beings
those same concerns. I wanted the kids to have that. I wanted them to be able to go places and do things that their peers would never dream of, that they never would see.
Check.
Adults that they know would never do or never dream of.
Okay, so
But that
how are you gonna
But
have
in
both-
turn, that
but
means
wait,
that we're not
you
going to be
have
able
all
to do the other stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
So if you know it doesn't make sense, why are you sad?
I guess that's my issue.
I guess-
you made
Part of the
you being us. You made the decision because I don't want to say we. You made the decision, and this is for all expat parents. You made the decision to not do things the way they had been done for you when you were in school.
And you gave us the choice of school.
Because they could have gone back.
And you guys, like almost every place we went, were willing to send us to school. And we said no.
Okay, well, there is that too. They could have gone to school where we were.
Right. You gave
You
us
know,
that opportunity many times.
But that doesn't mean that you would have the same school experience that you're talking about. So they could have gone to schools.
I mean, you did go to 2 schools, but
they could have gone to schools and still never had those experiences.
yeah.
Because in those other places,
It's gonna be
school is different.
I
So
also think it saddens me that they don't have relationships with people their age.
okay, but you could go to school and not have relationships with people
That's
your age.
true.
So I guess I don't feel bad about it. I'm more worried about the academics, like what's missing in the academic world, so that then they don't have all of their choices limited. But like I said before, learning to learn is far more important. And if there's something that you need to learn, you have been equipped to learn.
Yeah.
Both of the kids are able to learn. So if there's something deficient, like the math, when you get to the next level of whatever education you choose, if you choose it, then you can learn it. It's not about, you may not know it today, so you take a test and you might be lower in that particular realm, higher in other realms though.
Yeah.
So there is that, but that you could have gone to high school and had the same problem.
Yeah.
So that's not really. High school is doesn't fix that issue. But I don't feel bad about like, oh, well, you didn't have this and and maybe that's why I give our kids all of the experiences of my high school, and when we watch things and we talk about what it was like, because they don't have those experiences, now they can at least understand them, understand the feelings and the emotions and the stuff that goes on with those things, and maybe they can sit back and go, I'm really glad I didn't have to go through all that shit.
Right.
There is that possibility. They get to learn without having all the other stuff, and maybe that equips them later on to not carry all the baggage, because I carry baggage from junior high school and all the pain and problems of that time. They don't have.
Yeah.
You see, so we've almost liberated them from having a lot
But
of
have we
the
liberated
issues.
them, or have we just slowed the coping process?
No. They still have to. They're still going to go through it, but they'll go through it at a different point in their lives. They'll go
Maybe
through it.
they'll be emotionally and
It's the
socially
difference.
more
Yeah. It's
mature?
absolutely. It's the difference of having a child when you're a teenager and having a child in your 30s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have a child, and okay, let's do it like this. Having a child in your 20s and having a child in your 30s.
Yeah, huge
There's
difference.
a huge difference there, and you are able to deal with things more effectively. You've never done it before. The 20-year-old's never done it before, but they have the child in the 20s. You have the child in your 30s. All of a sudden, they're like pulling their hair out, and they're having so many problems and issues, and you never get to those problems and issues.
Right.
Because you were more mature.
Yep.
So I would say, our children, while they don't have those older relationships, but, honestly, from high school, I don't have that many people that I'm still in touch with. And there might be, junior high school, one, maybe? You know what I'm saying? I don't have that. So there is that potential that basically the people that are your friends that are really close to you, they're going to be university or in your late teens, 20s. Those people that you're with are going to be your more long-lasting cohorts anyway.
Yeah.
So why? What's the purpose of the whole middle school, high school thing? I think if you can get through, I say this all the time, if you can get through that time without getting killed and having a baby, you've almost won.
Or committing a crime.
Yeah, or committing a crime. You've essentially won the day just by getting through that time and not having any of that stuff going with you into the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No children as a teenager.
No record.
No police record. You kind of, woo.
Yeah.
So there is that. And for a lot of us, it's getting out alive. Literally alive.
Right.
From that time. Because for us, it was, can you go to a party and not get killed? Can you go to the concert and not get killed?
Can you go to the convenience store and not get killed?
It was a real thing for us when we were younger. So I don't think expat parents should be worried about those things because they gave their children or are giving their children something that none of those other children will ever have as well. They have a specialness.
Yeah.
It's just that specialness doesn't come in the form of BS. Flowers, caps and gowns, all this bullshit. All this stuff that is literal bullshit for who that person is going to become. But we hold on to it like these are the important moments. The photographs, the playing sports in high school. Would you have played sports if you were in high school? See? You know what I'm saying? Are they really missing out on these things if they weren't going to do it anyway? No!
Probably wouldn't have gone to prom either.
No, you'd have went to prom.
gone to prom.
If you'd have went to school in the States, you'd have gone.
Yep.
It's just because that would have been a thing that you do.
Yeah.
But that's also now a thing that was taken off the table, and now you don't have to worry about it.
Now I don't care.
Well, now it doesn't matter.
It has no meaning to me.
Well, it kind of had no meaning before. It had no meaning if you had attended. You know? But going to prom for a lot of people is the idea of, you know, you're dressing up in a more formal way. You're going to a thing and you're basically kind of your last thing in high school, but your first more formal, really formal thing that you do. Is that really necessary? Was it ever really necessary? No. It really wasn't. It was a way for people to spend a lot of money, though.
Yeah.
And see, I think our high school experience is about parents spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And feeling good about the fact that they could spend the money.
Well, my sister was... she would tell me all the time, oh, I have to spend $250 for this thing for my stepson and this thing for my stepson, and I have to, and he needs $800 for this thing at a public school, and he's like, I just didn't understand, why are you spending all this money for classes and books and what all this? I didn't get it, but I also haven't had a child in high school in the States in this time. So,
like I said, I don't think you should feel bad about it at all.
I do.
We saved our children from a lot of the negativity, and we were able to focus their attention on the things that actually mattered from this time. Middle school and high school, what really was important, they were able to focus on the important things.
Yep.
Instead of the BS stuff. And a lot of what middle school and high school is a lot of BS. And then it carries over into university, and then those kids find out all that shit was BS. Our kids already know it.
Go ahead, do you think?
If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, and any place that good podcasts are sold. At the Traveling Farrs. You know, I've been forgetting to say that.
What?
I'm surprised you guys haven't picked that up. I've been saying all the things, but then I didn't say the Traveling Farrs. If you like the Instagram or the Twitters, Traveling Farrs, which stuff goes up every day over there. Check that out. If you like the email, travelingfars@gmail.com, that Karen will check incessantly.
I check it a couple times a day.
And the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
And don't forget to check out our Patreon. I don't know the link for that, but we have a Patreon.
It is patreon.com/thetravelingfars.
Go check it out.
It's down there.
You can support us directly with your monies that you have. Give it. Hand it over. And you'll get a nice shout out.
You can be a...
You'll be on the green screen.
You could be a
patron.
A patron on Patreon.
You get a nice list with all your names.
I'm scrolling the list right now of everybody that's a Patreon.
Patron.
You see, you can't say
Patreon?
it. You see, you can't say it.
That's
Once you get
not right.
Patreon in your head, you don't get patron back. Patron just gets thrown out. It's been replaced. Because it's supposed to be a patron. But
Right.
Via Patreon.
But Patreon is, it's all that. You are a Patreon now.
No.
Yeah.
They are still called patrons.
No. You're a Patreon on Patreon.
God, you're saying the word too much.
See?
It's starting to lose me.
Now you'll free. Patron will just go whoop.
Everything's starting to lose meaning now. Go check it out. Give us your money.
Say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
Make it rain.
You know what's so funny about
Make
that?
it digitally rain.
This, just so that all of you understand, this does not come from people sitting around with lots of money and they're just doing this comes from people in strip clubs giving strippers money.
Yeah, didn't everybody?
No, they don't know that.
Everybody does it. I knew that.
No.
Making it rain was always a stripper thing.
Middle schoolers doing this, for I have lots of money.
Oh, Lord.
Instead of I'm giving naked lady money.
Yeah, that was make it rain on the naked lady.
Yeah, give the naked lady money.
Give the nice naked lady the money.
It's always great when you see a first grader. Yes, especially here in Mexico.
Give the nice naked lady money.
Yeah,
Come on
that's
now,
what it was.
y'all don't understand what y'all
How?
doing, man.
That's why you ask questions. Don't just do things, because then you look stupid.
Then you look stupid.
And you don't know why you look stupid.
Peace.